Hey traders, welcome to Quad S Trading, and if you short sell penny stocks, you absolutely must check out our Discord. We live trade every single Monday for free in our general chat. We give everybody an introduction to what we do and how we short. That way you see exactly what we do. So here is our VW scanner. So I'm going to go over all of our VW stocks that pumped today, October the 8th, and we actually had a pretty exciting day today. So ACXP. This here is a VW2 because you see this yellow dot. So that means you want to see two pumps. Doesn't matter where they are. Pump number 1, pump number 2, or you can just say, hey, you know what, pump number 1, pump number 2 as a retest. So your entry would have been right here. Because I don't trade before 6, right? So this here would have been on this close, which would have been 10, yeah, this one right here, like this. And you go at the end of the day. At the end of the day, we would have closed out right here, up in this range here. 778, roughly right here. This is your close. And this trade alone, if you took the full 10%, which is what we suggest, an aggressive position on your smaller accounts. Once you get a little bit of larger account, you can just do like 5% just to protect your capital. But this here would have been 2.4% of your account growth if you had taken this trade today. BIAF. This here didn't do a VW1. It didn't pump enough, and there was not enough profit to be taken on this one here. XBIO. This one here is another killer trade. Yellow dot VW2. So here's your first pump. It closed below the VWAP. This one here closed below the VWAP. So technically you have two small little pumps here. And I say small pumps, but there's still quite a bit, like 75, 100, and 160%. Like this thing went crazy, 500%, right? So these don't seem like big pumps, but they're actually pretty significant. So there's no entry here because, well, it's before 6 o'clock. And then it goes nuts. And then here's your VW1 entry. And your exit is at the end of the day. So you enter here at the end of the day. This here is a 1.8% account growth. Okay, so now we have two big winners today. BGMS, let's have a look at this one. This one here, it just didn't pump enough. See, it pumped here, very small. It followed the VWAP. You want to be like way above the VWAP, not a trade. DRMA, straight up, straight down. We don't touch that. NXL, this one here was a tricky one. We had an entry right here. We got stopped out up in this area here. So we did have a loss. So let's make this here. So your entry would have been somewhere in this area here within a couple pennies. Okay, and then your stop out would have been, let's just measure this roughly right here at the 175. I don't like round numbers, so let's say 178 like this. So this would have been your stop out. Okay, so we would have lost 4% of your account on this trade here, which seems significant, but statistically, this strategy wins quite a bit. Now, if when you get stopped out here, it triggered another VW1 right here. So this is your entry on the next one. So you would have entered right here, and this entry here would have been 164. And the stop out loss is this actually this line. Well, at the time, because it's a high of a day, so like this wick here would have changed this stop loss up here. So let's just calculate it back over here. So roughly about right here. So we would not have been stopped out by like a few pennies. So let's just draw a line right here at 227. That would have been your stop out. So we would have been safe by 2 pennies, and then it comes right back down, and you get out at the end of the day, which is roughly up in the 264 area. And when I say roughly in the 264 area, it's because you start like putting some limit orders to get out near the end of the day, because you don't want to like buy into the ask. You want somebody to sell into your bid. So that's why I say roughly at the end of the day, but just for a fixed number. So you would have been broken even on this second trade here. It doesn't happen often that we lose on 2 entries like this. Like this would have been maybe 2 or 3 times that this happens in 6 months. That's how often it happens. Not very. So anyways, unfortunately, this one would have been a loss. MY and Z. Let's have a look at this one here. This one here, straight up, straight down. Unfortunately, we can't do that. We can't trade those. RNAS. This here was a beautiful trade. It pumped, 153% in one candle. It came back down. This could have been your entry right here, like this. And your exit is at the end of the day, roughly up in this area here. Okay, and if we measure that here, the 1868-ish, let's go like this to the 1381, right? This is a 2.6 account growth. Then we have RAEB. This one here was, I actually played this one, and I made a mistake on this one, so I had a loss. A couple of reasons. A, you can see there's no yellows and there's no green dots. So technically speaking, it wasn't a play according to our indicator, but the pattern just felt very nice. So I took it on when it opened from the halt here. So I took it up in this area here. Let's just throw a number out here, like let's say right here, okay, which is a valid entry. My rule is, and it's the rule for the VW strategy, if it hits the EMA adjusted, which is this line right here, you set your stop loss at your entry, because you don't want the stock to come and bounce off the EMA and skyrocket, which what happened here. I forgot to change my stop loss. So the stop loss is actually original stop loss for VW1 would have been up in this range here. So I actually got stopped out of this one. Now I took a smaller trade size because it wasn't a perfect VW strategy, but I did make a mistake, and that's why I make these videos. I just like to keep the transparency and the honesty in our trades. If you are not honest, you will not learn from your mistakes. So that's why I mentioned everything. So anyways, I did not get stopped out here. I came up here, and then when it came back, I'm like, I already got stopped out once. I don't want to risk it again, so I'm not going to take the trade. And again, another mistake. It went down. So how this should have been played was, it pumps, you take this trade here. Once it pumps off here, or it touches this, like it just needs to touch it, right? Because it could have been like down, touch it, come back up here, come back down, next candle, pump. You change that, your entry, or sorry, your stop loss to your entry right away. And then you get break even, so that when this pumps and comes back down, now you haven't lost, you didn't take a loss, right? You broke even, so now you're comfortable taking this trade. And then this would have been, let's say anywhere in this area here, all the way to the exit, which would have been another 1.9% account growth, right? So I completely misplayed this one here, but you know what? It happens. And then we don't trade after 12. So all these ones here are no plays for me as a VW strategy. Now let's have a look at the trade log of October the 8th. So he took the ACPX right here at 1040, and he covered at the midpoint. Yeah, sometimes a stock will pump off the midpoint right before the market opens. So he wanted to play it, Sean played it safe and had a nice win here at the midpoint. Then we have XBIO, right? So he played, see all these lines here? So he likes the resistance. So he took a trade here, right? Because there's a missed monthly pivot. He took a trade on the way up here. He took a trade up here, and he took a fourth trade here. And he got out. He took some of it out over here at the 2006, and he took the rest out when it hit the midpoint here at 1065. And he took even more out at the 1034 when it was up in the EMA area. Right, so lots of trades for this one here, and that's why, like, when you're on the go and you're trading while you're working, like I do, the pivot and resistance can get a little bit hectic. Like, you'll be on your phone very often. While with just the VW, it's you just set it and forget it. So that's why we have two strategies, and they both work hand in hand, and they're both have an incredible win rate. Then we'll have this one here is this happened late during the day, but same thing. he identified a resistance in this area here, and it halted on the way. It halted on the way up, right? So when it halts like this, like a little trick is that if you do a limit order at the close here, you will get in no matter what at the open of the candle. So you get in at the very top here, 651. That's your entry, no matter what. That's how it works. And he got out at the following candle here at 520. Okay, then we had GTBP. This one here is just, here's a few resistance that he identified. He probably didn't take it because it was, late in the day, but he took it at 111 and he covered at 94 cents. The final trade, smaller one, but on the VWAP break and closed midpoint at the end of the day, right? So he took it at I want to pop it back up to the midpoint. So that's it for us today. So huge day, even though we had the one stop out. And if you like what you see, head over to our Discord. Hopefully we'll see you on Monday during the live trading that is free in our general chat, and we'll see you there.